you're about to vibe code your first application. So now if I execute this step here, you can see as of now, we got that live browser link. So if I click this, you can now see browser loading, and now we have a live view. You can see on this page, we get the full results, all the homes. We get the location of the home, the municipality, the square footage, the owner name. For him, it's like, oh, all right, bet. This one prompt here will create a full Python automation that will scrape all of those 100 plus listings. So now if I come here to find pools easy, it should run automatically. Exactly last 30 days, 750,000 to 4 million single family homes, all hands free. I'm not gonna touch the mouse whatsoever. So now it's on the results page, and let's see if it'll go through every single one. It's literally clicking through. You can see, oh, moving quickly, way faster than any human would go. Clicking through every single page. And if I actually go inside the terminal here, you can see it's even saying it here. Like, okay, 108 Paseo, pool found. 17849, pool found. If you just want to skip this whole video and you just want to download this, maybe you're already nice with N8N and you just want to come in here, fine tune and play, all you have to do is join my school community. I obviously have a ton of people in here all over the world. What's the deal? You already know who it is. It's Sir Lifehacker, the one and only. The best way for me to really go into this video is to tell you a super quick story about a client that I was just working with. Marcus runs a pool construction company in Florida. The guy's bossing up down there in Palm Beach. What I really fucked with about Marcus, to be honest, was that he was the kind of CEO who's always been obsessed with AI and innovation. He's not just building pools, he's building smarter systems to make his company the #1 home services company in the state. He's trying to self-teach himself different ways to use ChatGPT. He's already putting in virtual assistants to do different things. So he was already ahead of the curve in terms of creating systems to stand out. But lately, he noticed that things really weren't as smooth, kept running into the same frustrating wall where he would reach out to his leads of new homeowners, but then he would keep hearing that they're either already working with another pool construction company or that they already had a pool built in their house, you know, in the 70s, 80s, or 90s or whatever. Marcus had that realization where he didn't need more leads. He really just needed better timing, to be honest. The leads were good. Some of his leads were great, but he would come in so late in the process, they were already getting hammered by ads from 10 other companies. And so luckily, God just so happened to bring him into one of my YouTube videos and scheduled a call with me. He said, I need help. After I heard about his problem, I'm over here rubbing my hands like Birdman. I'm like, we could really use AI here, and specifically AI browser agents, to bend the rules of time to get in front of your leads earlier in the sales cycle so that you could always be top of mind. I knew for a fact we could do this with the power of browser agents, with the power of AI agents I've already set up, with really building an AI system that uses browser agents in Airtop and Cursor to do what no other salesperson could do. And that's find new homeowners in real time. Literally a week after you just bought your new home, we already know who you are. We already got your address. Then from there, check to see if they already have a pool, if that home already has a pool, and then automatically qualify them before any new competitor even knew they existed. I'm going to show you exactly how I built that and how you can build the same exact thing for your business. Every automation that I'm going to talk about here, every browser agent, etc. If you just want to skip this whole video and you just want to download this, maybe you're already nice with N8N and you just want to come in here, fine tune and play, all you have to do is join my school community. I obviously have a ton of people in here all over the world. Come learn, come ask questions, come DM me, say what's up. Without further ado, let's get to it. So the most important thing for Marcus was to see who moved into a new home in his service area. Point blank, period. I knew first principles wise, that was the most important thing to figure out. We use a property appraiser site. These sites are literally a cheat code because they're legally required to disclose information on any new home that was recently bought or sold. Found the Palm Beach property appraiser site. As you can see, public access, anybody can come on here and search addresses. You can do an advanced search to really choose your search criteria. This is for every state, every county. Recently bought, recently sold. Cheat code. That's why you got to fuck with Sir Lifehacker. I'm trying to tell y'all. For sale price range, he purposely said 750,000 to 4 million. Those were the homes he was looking to go after. He made a good point of basically any house more expensive than this. Think of it like if Michael Jordan bought a new house, he's not just going to find, a cold outreacher to do a pull. He's going to use word of mouth. So that's why he chose this criteria. And then, of course, square footage range, he's open to anything. Obviously the bigger the better. So I just put in 10,000 here. So I went fast through those steps, but it was really important, everything that I did there. You can see I was filling out a form. I was clicking the button search. I was doing different browser actions. I'm going to show you how you can have a computer do it all for you. And as you can see on this page, we get the full results, all the homes. We get the location of the home, the municipality, the square footage, the owner name, etc. So for him, it's like, oh, all right, bet. It looks like almost the work is already finished, but we want to actually be able to get the true city of where these houses are. So we need to have the AI do the work of also looking at where these cities actually are, finding the full address, finding the full zip code so that he can come in here, send flyers, because that's his way of doing sales, of getting in the door. First and foremost, you want to go ahead, sign in N8N. I use N8N Cloud, and if you are any type of beginner, I suggest you do the same thing. Doing self-hosting is complicated, and people think, oh yeah, I'm saving so much money, blah, blah, blah. N8N Cloud is, I think, under $30 a month. Create workflow, and the first thing we're going to do is create a trigger. The reason why I like using Airtop is because they're natively integrated inside N8N. You don't have to do, HTTP requests, API call, complicated, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do all that. All you have to do is search Airtop in here, and you can see they have all their actions already there. You can see it created this node for me where I am creating a session and the credential to connect with. You can see mine is already connected, but for you, all you need to do is go to create new credential, and where they ask for the API key, just go back to Airtop. You want to log into your account, go down here to API keys. This is not rocket science, my guys. Once that's connected, you want to stay at create session, obviously, and you can see it's asking for a profile name here. You don't have to add this in. This is only if you're trying to do something where you need to sign in to something to be able to use it. Instagram, Twitter. Once the session is created, we can go ahead and move on to the next step. So then you want to go add another Airtop node. And for this time, you want to go to create a window. Just like how in any other browser you would use, you need a window. So if I run this create a session node, it's going to go ahead and give me that session ID. And now you can see in this one, it's giving me an opportunity to add in a URL. This URL is where you're going to add the website you plan on the browser agent starting on to do the actions. So I'm going to come in here back to the property appraiser site, go to this advanced sales search page. You already know what time we on. Copy the URL. Bring that back in N8N. This stuff is not super complicated, to be honest. Everything is still going on behind the scenes. Airtop has still generated a browser that I can't see. So now we want to go ahead and see that browser. We want to see it working in front of us. We are going to include an HTTP request node. These are probably the most used nodes in N8N because this allows you to make API calls. And so for me, what I want to do is send myself the link to the browser agent live in Google Chat. Go to Google Chat. Everybody has Google Chat. You have it if you have a Gmail. Then you're going to go to spaces section, click these three dots, go to create a space. I'm just going to call it Airtop V2 because I already got a bunch of chat spaces in here. Add a little emoji because I'm swaggy with it. Now you can see we've already created our space. Should be a setting somewhere in the motherfucker. There we go. You want to go to space settings, add webhook, add a name here. Now have generated a URL. You can see it gave us a key. What this is basically doing is generating the API key for you from Google Chat that you're going to add into N8N. So now I put this into N8N. We're going to do post. Before I even go further, you want to make sure and create a window that you enable get live view. I come into the HTTP request. You can see from the output from the last one, I have this live view URL. Now I got to add a body here. I'm going to switch that to using JSON. So for this JSON in here, I'm going to go ahead and write that. Got to start it with the curly bracket. That's how you start all JSON. Apparently you're getting a coding lesson today. That also turns blue. Then I want to do another pair of quotes and then enter a little red dot because you know I got to stay swaggy with it. And now I'm going to go ahead and tell it to send me the live view URL. So I go ahead, drag this in here, add it after that red dot, close the quotes, end this JSON with another curly bracket. It doesn't really matter what you put here. This is just what the message is going to be that you get in Google Chat. So now if I execute this step here, you can see, and you can also hear, we got a notification in Google Chat. So if we go back over, you can see as of now, we got that live browser link. So if I click this, you can now see browser loading. And now we have a live view of what Airtop is doing on its live browser. You've seen a little bit of magic, but in a second, you're really about to see how it's going crazy. Now we want to start doing the exact same things we did before on this advanced search site. We need to click countywide. Right now, as you can see, it's not clicked. We need to fill in the form. So let's go ahead and tell Airtop to do those actions for us. I'm going to go back to Airtop, and this is the beauty of it. I can go in here and I'm going to search click an element. And instead of having to define, the actual real coding HTML language of what the element is, I can just type a description of it. Let me go ahead and replace the session ID and window ID. This might happen to you. All you got to do is come back in here and then enter what was already generated. For the element description, I wanted to click the county-wide button. So all I got to do is literally say, click the button next to county-wide. Let's just see if it can do it off of that. So I'm going to go ahead and run this, and then we can go back to the live view URL, and you can see the AI is in progress. That means the browser is being taken over by this AI agent. And as you can see, the button countywide got clicked. For people who have great imaginations, just start to imagine what this can do at a larger scale. I still need to fill out the rest of this form based on everything he told me about his criteria, the dates, the sale price, etc. So that's what I'm going to do for this next node. Add another Airtop node here. And this time I'm going to go to fill form. So now with fill form, this also works best if it's written in JSON. So once again, we're wrapping these in curly brackets because it's JSON, and it doesn't have to be super complex. All I'm literally doing is putting in quotes what I want the form to fill out. So the date range from, I'm actually going to change this to September 1st, the date range to, I'm going to go ahead and put that as the 1st of October. The sale price range from, I'm just typing out what's literally on this website, from and to. It literally understands what fields I'm talking about on auto. So I entered just the prices here, 750,000 to 4 million. Square footage, the square footage range, same thing, 0 to 10,000, just like we did before. And the property use type is single family. So even though some of these are type in a number and some of these are fill out multi-select, Airtop knows how to do all that. All you have to do is tell it in natural language what you want it to do. So if I go ahead and press run this and we go back to the live view, the AI is back in progress. The AI back working. I can really leave my computer. And now we can see the magic of Airtop going to work. I am hands off. I'm not touching anything. But as you can see, it's going ahead and filling out everything we asked. The date, the sale price range, it's going to do the square footage range after. Easy work. After this, of course, you will press search. So you have to tell Airtop to do the same thing. We're going to go to Airtop again. Go to click an element once again because we want to click that button. And then for this, I'm just going to say click the blue search button. If I come back here, you can see the AI is back in progress. And we'll go ahead and click that search button. So right now, you can see I'm going action by action. And of course, it needs to take some time to load. It took, maybe 10 or 20 seconds to do that. You want to make sure you have that budgeted in your automation. You don't want to run the next step before the page has loaded. So we want to make sure that we add a wait. for us, I'm just gonna say 25 seconds to be safe. Now you can see we have 39 entries that we're gonna go ahead and scrape. So we're gonna go ahead and get all this information inside of CSV. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out, connect this query page in there, go into the query page, and just like before, I'm gonna enter the prompt of what I want it to scrape. I basically tell it straight up, extract all the rows and columns from the table on this page. If you want some columns, some rows, this is where you say it. I explicitly say, I wanna make sure to get sale price, sale date, owner name, location, municipality, everything, include all rows. And of course, I wanna double down, tell it, don't skip any rows, don't slack. Lock in. Go ahead and run it. So now you can see that's running. I go back to live view. The AI is in progress, and I could just sit back, relax, watch an AI literally go in a browser, do everything I would have to do, copy and paste everything, put it somewhere else, and it's going to do it all on auto. I could leave. I could not be here. This can run while you're doing something else, running errands, on sales calls, actually in the field doing construction work. That's why these browser agents are great. As you can see, finished successfully. It did take a little bit of time. I did fast forward a little bit. You can see it took about 3 minutes, which is not bad. But if we come in here, we now have everything scraped from this page. The sale price, the sale date, the owner name, etc. All 30 something that was in that is now inside of this model response, the same way where GPT would give you a response. But obviously this is a little dirty. Like this, it's got a lot of backslash ends, which are just new lines. We need to put it somewhere. For Marcus, he wanted to put it inside of this spreadsheet that already has column titles mapped out. We want to be able to parse the results to fit in those Google Sheets columns. For one, we saw before. We need to be able to actually find the true cities, the true zip codes of these locations. You can see some of them say unincorporated, and a lot of them don't even have the zip code. So we need to find that information. But first, we're going to go ahead and parse that model response so it's way cleaner, way easier to read. So I'm going to go ahead, and for that, always use a code node. Always your best bet. Coding in JavaScript. And everybody's like, I'm not a coder. I don't know how to code. Bruh, you know ChatGPT exists, right? Just ask GPT, can you write a code node that will basically parse these into the columns that I need? I already did that, and I'm going to go ahead and take it from the other one that I'm using. You can see what it's doing. It's parsing the raw JSON string, and it's replacing the items with the actual path. So it's just basically mapping everything to the format that I want in Google Sheets. I run this should be super quick. You can see all 39 of those scraped rows are now super neatly organized. We got sale price, sale date, owner name, location, municipality. Now the next step, finding the actual cities and zip codes associated with each of these locations. And so for that one, we're gonna have a little fun. You're gonna create your AI agent. The AI agent is basically gonna be your deep researcher, your lead enricher, figure out all the rest of the information we need here. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and choose define below. For the prompt user message, this is where we get freaky with it. Y'all know how I rock. Same thing as before. Go to GPT, ask it to make it for you. You should not be writing your prompts or your code nodes yourself unless you're a professional. Other than that, use the AI expert. This is what it generated. You're a data enrichment agent. You'll be given a street address scraped from the property appraiser website. Your task is to find the correct city and zip code. I give it the input data of the street address and the municipality if it's there, but I also, and this is the most important thing, give it the context. We already know there's probably a bunch of 39 streets. We want to make sure it narrows down to Palm Beach, and all we have to do is literally just add in one bullet point for that. That's the beauty of prompting with AI. So now, if I run this, it won't do anything. You can see there's a red triangle here for a reason. We need to actually connect it to tools that can do the actions for us. Perplexity is great because if you use Perplexity, you already know how great it is in terms of being able to search and find real-time information on leads. I don't even need to explain it to you, but if you don't know, Perplexity is great for finding up-to-date information, up-to-date citations, etc. So for this, I don't even need to include in a text prompt. All I need to do is press this button because it'll let the model or the AI agent define the questions being asked. Now I don't have to basically say there's 39 addresses in here. Find this one, that one. All I have to do is let the model do the work by clicking this button. Easy work. For the model, I'm going to use Sonar because Sonar Deep Research and Sonar Pro are 1, more expensive, and 2, overkill. I'm not trying to do a research essay. I'm literally just trying to find a full address. You want to create a credential here. If you don't have Perplexity connected to your N8N yet, you can either do it one of two ways. You can either go to Perplexity and sign up for a pro account and then come in here to account, go to API, and then go to API keys. Okay, they're not showing it, thank God. Y'all, Lord knows, y'all love stealing API keys. You can either get your API key straight from Perplexity, or if you don't want to keep just going to individual websites like OpenAI, GPT, Anthropic, Perplexity, you could use Open Router. Open Router basically aggregates all those large language models together. So you can pay $20, let's just say, and then basically it'll use those $20 of tokens towards any model you use, Gemini, GPT, Claude, etc. For this example, I'm going to use my Perplexity account, and then I plugged in the API there. So we have that tool being used, but what you also need is a chat model. And so for that, I'm going to use OpenAI. I'm going to use GPT-4.1 Mini. If I go ahead and run this, you can see the AI agent starts running. It first goes to the chat model, and now it's going to Perplexity because it now has the actual prompt and what it needs to search. And we can see it's going back and forth. It's iterating on itself, figuring out how to find all the addresses. And if you kind of look under the hood to see what's really going on here, it's literally going in, finding citations of Trulia, going into hellosold.com, different online real estate listing websites for you to see what these real cities and zip codes are. So that's why I love Perplexity, is going and doing the work and finding the real zip codes, the real cities for all these. Now, instead of just having the street address, we now have the city, the zip code, everything we need. This AI agent literally went research Perplexity for us 39 times. We didn't even have to really enter 39 different prompts, only one. That's the beauty of an AI agent. It can iterate on itself. We need to be able to actually split these up and parse these so we can put just this in the street address column, just this in the city column, just this in the zip code column. So for that, we're going to go ahead and once again do another code node with JavaScript. Y'all are big coders today, big developers. Change your resume, change your LinkedIn. If you're using GPT to generate this, you're just asking it to parse your JSON and map it to the columns that you have in Google Sheets. As you can see in this output, we now have in the schema these 3 different results instead of just the one consolidated output. It's officially time to take all your results and put them inside of whatever CRM that you're using. He was using Google Sheets, so we're going to go ahead and do that in here. I'm going to go ahead, add a Google Sheets node. I'm just choosing what spreadsheet that I want to add all the results into. So pool data for flyers. There's multiple sheets in every spreadsheet. I want to add it inside of home data. And so then I'm going to map each column from the results that I got from both the scraping and the address finding inside of here. So inside of sale price, I would go back into this code node that parsed what we scraped from the property appraiser site with Airtop, and I'm just plugging and playing. This is where things get super easy. I'm not going to walk through everything here. 1, because I don't want to duplicate on what I already added in here. And 2, it's self-explanatory. If you follow along through all these steps, you just created your first scraper and your first AI agent all in one, and you already collected all your winnings inside your Google Sheet. So now you're probably thinking, whoa, we good. We're done. Why is there still more time in this tutorial? Well, just like in any other niche, all leads aren't A+ leads. Every result from the property appraisal site is an A+ lead. While some of these look to be like actually truly people, humans, just individuals, some are LLCs, etc. Some of these people just genuinely could not care less about a pool. Maybe they're just buying and flipping. Maybe a house was foreclosed, so now they own it. Marcus only wanted to hit homeowners who bought the home as their primary residence. We're going to look for more triggers, more signals to be early in the sales cycle to qualify the leads for us. Say one of these people is a home flipper, we're going to see that same property on Zillow that we just saw on the property appraiser site. And so we don't want to have to manually go to Zillow, go to Palm Beach County to search, put in his same filters of basically 750,000 to 4 million. That'll give us is 3,777 results. That's a lot of homes. We don't have to manually sift through all that to see which addresses line up with which. This is where we want to, again, use AI to do it for us. But luckily, creating a Zillow scraper and then basically matching all the homes and addresses to search and see if there's any homes in the spreadsheet that are the same is easy work. All we have to do for this is just disconnect this trigger and drag it over here, because we're just going to use it on this one over here. After the trigger is now going to be another HTTP request, because like I told you, this is what you're going to use to do API requests to anything that isn't natively integrated within N8N. And N8N does not have a Zillow scraper just sitting inside of it. But luckily, we can just find a Zillow scraper on something called Apify. Apify is amazing. It's an aggregator of scrapers that are already built and set up by other people, so you don't have to worry about setting it up from scratch yourself. So if I just come in here and I search Zillow, you're going to see all these different people who have built Zillow scrapers that are clearly successful. You can see thousands of users using a lot of these. The one that I use is this Zillow search scraper by Max Capelli. Shout out to him. He's that guy for creating this, to be honest. So this is everything that's going to come with the scrape. All the information. It's going to extract the address, the price, the posted date, the Z estimate, the photos, everything from that Zillow listing. You're probably wondering, one, how much does it cost? Two, how in the hell do I get this going? Because this is crazy. First things first, pricing right here, $2 per 1,000 results. That's an amazing price. Insane price for scraping. Now I go in the console to start using this scraper, because don't forget, I still need to connect it to this HTTP request node. We're still running this inside of N8N. So obviously, just like before with the Google chat, we need a URL and we need a body. So for the URL, Apify, it's going to give it right to us. All we're going to do is take this same URL, copy it, go back to Apify, add it in here. Super easy, super simple. And then if you go to JSON, this is the body that you're going to want to put back into N8N. I'm actually going to narrow this down even more to only find houses and nothing else. So that takes us down to 2,521 results. I'm going to take this URL, put it inside of Apify back here. And then for the JSON, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, bring it back to N8N, and then just use this as the body without changing anything. You can literally keep this the same if you wanted to. And for the URL, we still need that. This is how to get the URL for any Apify scraper you use, period. You're going to go to API endpoints, scroll down until you find run actor synchronously and get the record. We don't just want to run the actor. We want to actually get the results too. Copy this URL, and it'll also tell us what actual API action we need to do. For this one, it's post. Change that from get to post, put the URL in here, easy work. For this trigger, usually you can keep this blank, but for now we want to change this. We want to have an output for the trigger. All I'm going to do here is define a Zillow URL in JSON language. And then for the URL, I'm just going to put that same URL from Zillow in here. And then add quotes around it. It should turn blue. That's how you know it's good. It already parsed it for us and showed us what this value is. So now if I come back in here, instead of using this full long URL that is stating here, just add in the variable from what we did from the trigger. So now I gotta put this back in there. It loves putting at the bottom on some shit. As you can see, it turned green, and we basically just did the same thing Apify gave us. We just did it dynamically so we can change it from N8N and not Apify. So now if I run this, you're about to scrape Zillow. I could walk away, I could dip, I could go eat lunch, I could go get on a sales call, I could do whatever I wanted to do because my computer is now scraping Zillow for me. So now you can see here, like we saw before, 2,000 plus items that we want to put inside the Google Sheet. We want to get all these into the same Google Sheet as the home data so we can cross-reference across sheets to make sure none of them match together, because that means that home is being sold and they clearly don't need a pool. So we obviously want to add this into Google Sheets, and this one is super simple. All we have to do is just add a Google Sheets node, go to a pinned row, and then just like before, choose the sheet we're working in. It'll automatically bring up all of my columns, and all I have to do now is just plug and play, same as we did before. You see how easy it'll just be to just add all these in there and then press execute. From there, now you like, well, bet. I use Google Sheets. I want to know how you can match these, make sure if basically like if 100915 in this Zillow sheet is also in home data, it can give me a filter and say hide that. For this specific column, I just create a formula that said if any rows inside of the address column match any of the addresses in the Zillow address spreadsheet, then toggle it to hide. So as you can see, all of these say show for a reason. All of these are still on there because they're not duplicated from the Zillow spreadsheet. But anything other than that, well, so now we got to be finally done. We literally grab all the leads we could find, and even though they may not be A+, we still filtering by Zillow. We got to be done, right? Marcus decided to throw me another curveball. He noticed that within each listing on here, it'll actually straight up tell you. It'll literally say if you click into one of these, if you scroll down in property extra features, you can see pool in ground 1980. So this property, if he sent out a flyer to them, they'd be like, get out of here. We already have a pool. We've had a pool since the 80s. I didn't want to have him out there just with this great scraper, but it's bringing in leads that could be dead. So instead of having Airtop go through each one of these, 168 listings and check to see if it has a pool, that's a lot of work. This could take hours. I decided to use Cursor's new browser agent. Cursor is great because it can handle this longer time-consuming task of clicking into each one, checking for a pool, etc. much quicker. We honestly might as well just code this from scratch, because coding this from scratch would just be much faster and it's not as hard as you think whatsoever. And so luckily, this is actually the easiest step. If you've never downloaded or installed it, just go on their website and then download their app. Basically, Cursor dropped a new feature where they can control your browser. So when you first open Cursor, you're going to see this. It's going to say off the back, open a project. You can be like, open, I haven't even done nothing yet. It's just waiting for any type of folder that it can open up. It doesn't even have to have anything inside that folder. Click that same folder and we up. You're now inside Cursor. You're now going crazy. So first and foremost, you can see this says plus browser right here. This is how you activate it. If yours does not say this, this is all you need to do. All you need to do is go to preferences, go to Cursor settings. You're going to go to beta, and then your access, just say early access instead of default. And then Cursor browser should pop up here to enable. So now if I literally just say, go to this website, I have browser mode enabled, and I press enter, it's going to do its thing. It's going to load, but it's going to tell you what it's doing. And then I'm hands-free still, and it opened up the website. So now you can see how this can be powerful, and Cursor is able to easily navigate any website and do literally whatever you want. So I'm going to go into the advanced sales search. And as we see before, we have the filters, the criteria we need to search by. So all I did was literally just copy what we were putting for the input in N8N in here, and I'm just going to adjust it accordingly. So I'm going to say, I'm going to delete the curly bracket, delete some of the quotes here. And so now if I just press enter on this prompt, let's see if it can go ahead and fill out the form. You can see it's planning its next moves. It's being a true AI agent. So it already just clicked countywide that quickly. And now let's see if it can fill in the form. It's telling it, it's already confirming that it clicked on countywide. Oh, and it literally that quickly. So everything we just did before in N8N that literally took, 5, 6 different nodes, all we literally needed was to type a few sentences. So you can see now why cursor is just a little bit more advanced. So now let's see if just by typing a natural language prompt in cursor, we can get it to go in and check every single one of these property listings to see if it has a pool. I'm going to tell it the exact section that I wanted to search for the pool so it doesn't have to guess. It is under the property extra features, and check under the property extra features to see if it has a pool. I'm going to ask it. And then obviously we need to actually be able to have some type of CSV, some type of database to see which ones have pools, which ones don't. I'm going to say, can you output all the addresses in a CSV? Because then I can just add it inside of Google Sheets and do the same thing I did before with Zillow. Just basically cross-reference to see, do any of these match with what was scraped from the property appraisal site, so it can remove the ones that have a pool already. You can see it's playing the next moves. It's reading the full snapshot to see the property details. And it already clicked that button for us to go in to see if it had a pool. And now, once again, I'm back hands-free. I'm not clicking back. I'm not doing any of this. You can see it's navigating back, doing these actions for us. You can see perfect. I'm back on the search results page. So it's actively seeing what's going on. It saw that there are 168 properties. And now it's going to, it already literally created a to-do list of what to do. Navigate through all 168 listings. Click into each one. Check property extra features. It made that to-do list without me saying any of that. As you can see, it's literally going through and telling us, excellent, I found the pool information about this one. Let me record this and continue. And you can see now, this is when you have to step in as a vibe coder. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. So you can see it came up with this thing that it feels like it needs to do. It says, given the large scale of this task, let me try to create a more efficient JavaScript solution. Instead of having it now guess what it needs to do, I'm going to tell it, because I'm someone who understands Python scripts, who understands Playwright, and the most efficient way for it to go through and scrape all this. But I don't need to code it from scratch. As you can see, this is typically where you add your different code files in. Like typically there's, Python files here, etc. There's nothing here. And I'm going to show you how you can just use natural language in here to fill it all the way up. And it's all by this one prompt. This one prompt here will create a full Python automation that will scrape all of those 100 plus listings. And I did use GPT to generate this, but all I needed to do was just give it the core functionality. And then from there, it created the detail. And so this prompt is basically telling it, create a Python script that uses Playwright browser automation. And Playwright is basically just what gives your Python script the ability to really browse the web, to see web pages, to click buttons, to go from page to page, etc. That's all Playwright is. Don't let it confuse you. And I'm now just telling it, navigate to this sales search page, fill out the search criteria based on what we want. Click through all the search results. For each property, click into the detail page, not the quick view page. We basically already did this. We put in a wait. We added a fill form no. We added a click the search button. But now we can do all with one prompt and cursor, build this complete automation. So that's why if you're a bit more advanced and you understand coding, you're comfortable vibe coding, I suggest using cursor, because you can just use natural language prompts to essentially build this from scratch. Add in this full prompt. This is the same prompt you just saw. You're about to vibe code your first application, to be honest. So now it's literally creating all the code files I need. You can see it just created the first file in this getpools.python and doing anything. I can literally walk away from my computer right now. And you can see I just went to go eat lunch, and literally my computer for me just created a full Python automation, all these different code files, a full production ready scraper without me literally even looking at it whatsoever, to be honest. It has a smart detection on, so it'll find the pool and the property details. It handles all the results of the pages, so it'll go through different pages automatically. And to be honest, I'm ready to go ahead and see how this is working. So now if I come here to find pools easy, it should run automatically. Exactly last 30 days, 750,000 to 4 million single family homes. Let's see what happens. All hands free. I'm not going to touch the mouse whatsoever. Already opened up the browser. We got the browser open. Will it click countywide? Just damn, moving fast, as you can see. Definitely not moving nowhere near as slow as Airtop. It already clicked search. You can see it's already loading in the top left of the browser. So now it's on the results page, and let's see if it'll go through every single one. It's literally clicking through. You can see, oh, moving quickly, way faster than any human would go, clicking through every single page. And if I actually go inside the terminal here, you can see it's even saying it here. Like, okay, 108 Paseo, pool found, 17849, pool found. So it's going through every single listing and pulling back the results in the terminal so you can see it. This is actually insane to see. Literally hands free. I'm not doing anything. And it's going through every single listing, checking to see if it has a pool or not, and literally listing it right here for me. This is different. This is what AI was supposed to be from the jump. This is what we were promised in browser agents. Literally using a Chrome browser to automate whatever action you want is now at your fingertips, all from a natural language prompt. This one prompt right here is literally creating this full browser automation all through Cursor. This is the future. The future is right now, to be honest. This is insane. So it's still going through all these. It's at 18 right now. Let's just say I wanted to stop it early. I could go ahead and hit X here and it'll stop. And then you can see it says done. Check the folder for the CSV file. So now if I come back here, come down, I see CSV on October 6th. If I go in here, literally every single one that has a pool found is now inside of here. So all I have to do now is just bring this into Google Sheets. This is insane. All from one prompt in Cursor. Create a full automation that gave me this CSV. This is going to save me hours of time. I mean, literally now, rather than having to go through all 168 entries to scroll down here and see if they have a pool, now that browser automation does that all for us, and we can literally see it live happening in real time. So now we're finally done. We finally have everything we need to have browser agents close deals for Marcus. Now Marcus has all the leads he could ever want generated from the property appraisal site, and we're filtering out all the D, C, B leads. We're only keeping the A+ leads who absolutely 1000% need a pool. And we know we're going to get them early because we got that information from the property appraiser site. We can see exactly that this was sold on September 12th. So we can reach out on the 14th and go crazy. And of course, if you actually want either of these automations, if you want the code from Cursor that I was actually using, or if you want the full N8N automation of what we built inside of here, all you have to do, go inside the school community. You know where we at. All my dogs in here. All my dogs around the world are getting right. Will you be one of them, or will you still be stuck on the sidelines as a business owner, just waiting for your turn to hop into the AI race while the rest of us get right?